Madison's out, Saka's injured. There's so much to discuss in our teams this week. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another FPL Team Selection video. This is Game Week 12 and there is so much to discuss. But first off, Yelena, how's it going?
It's good, thank you. I was feeling all right with my team this week and now it's all falling apart. So we've got some injuries to get through.
Yeah, I woke up this morning and saw all of like the indications like yellow, yellow, yellow. I was like, geez, I thought I was rolling this week, but I guess not. And guys, if you see something scrolling across the bottom here, it's because we created a mini league. It's a new mini league of the two of us. So definitely make sure to join our mini league. I think I'm doing pretty terribly, so you'll definitely beat me, but you probably can't beat Yelena. So
I think I'm 18th at the moment. I looked and there's a lot of people that are already on 700 or over, which is a bit demoralizing.
It's crazy. And especially after the game week that we've had, game week 11 will go down in history as being just one of the worst game weeks ever. So let's take a look at it. This was my game.
39!
I know!
I don't want to do this anymore. You can't talk about the worst game week in history when you got 39 points.
Worst game week for many people, but
I'm resigning.
My team.
That's incredible.
I think this is like one of the only game weeks that I was like consistent. The average was actually I saw like 30 or 32, which I thought was high considering the scores. Going
Sorry,
around.
you got 39 and you have 18 points on your bench.
I know. I was so gutted about my bench because Archer I can't be upset about because he's a bench warmer for me. Like he was never going to start. And Lascelles, I wasn't really thinking about it because I had brought in Simicast and I was like, okay, double Newcastle defense against Arsenal. Don't think that this quite makes sense. Like I just like having him in for rotation. And then he went and got a 9-pointer as well. So that really hurt because I could have had like 48 points if I had to, or like 47 points if I had done Lascelles for Simicast. And then Bowen and Palmer were really the two standouts of my team. Obviously, Palmer took the penalty. It almost looked like it wasn't going in, and then it did. I was messaging Yelena like, I cannot have a penalty miss in this team. Like, I can't do it. And he got an assist as well. So I'm so freaking pleased about this pick because if you guys have been watching the videos for a while, you'll know that I've been going off about Cole Palmer for ages, and he finally paid off, and he was only like 4% ownership. So for me, that was like a crazy, crazy differential, and that he single-handedly saved my game week. So yeah, I'm very pleased with him. This is your team. Talk us through it.
So this was disappointing. I mean, my bench one was Kabore, who then goes and gets an assist, which I did not see coming. The Luton Liverpool game, this whole game week was mad. I mean, I was really lucky I had Gordon, and I know the goal, there were 3 VAR checks on it. It was quite controversial, but I was so happy when he scored. And again, I didn't see Newcastle winning 1-0 to Arsenal. I thought that was going to be a really, really high intensity game, like 3-3 or something. And it was a bit disappointing that Saka didn't have any involvement. He's also now flagged. From the replay, I've looked and it doesn't look like it was a really like bad injury. So I don't know. And Arteta sounded quite optimistic about things. But nothing from Maddison. He came off at 45 minutes. And then Salah again, a blank. I mean, I captained Haaland. You did as well, didn't you? So we got our 2 points from that. He came off early, missed a header. It was really frustrating to watch, but I was so nervous going into the Liverpool game because I thought Salah was going to go absolutely massive. Nothing happened. So that was quite nice from the perspective that I didn't captain him. And then Darwin, he had so many shots. I don't know how he didn't get a goal in that game. It's ridiculous. But I think that's half of the joy maybe of having Darwin on the team that you don't know you're going to get, and it's very much all or nothing. And then Watkins, really disappointing. Didn't see Villa blanking against Forest. I was surprised by the outcome of that.
Mm-hmm.
Matty Cash and Pinnock, just nothing. But if I hadn't have brought in Pinnock, I'd have had Destiny. And obviously he got the red card and I think he ended up on -4. So I'm going to take that as a win. I got 1 point from Pinnock. And then Turner's a bit of an issue as well now because he was benched in the Forest game. Obviously didn't play and Forest kept the clean sheet. So I don't see there being a huge need to bring him back. So I think for the foreseeable future, I'm going to have to rely on Ariona for everything.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as well. And it's not like they're keeping so many clean sheets either. But I also just love the flexibility that having a cheap goalkeeper gives you for getting points elsewhere on the pitch, or like being able to invest elsewhere on the pitch as well. And yeah, I have a lot of the same players as you, had a lot of the same issues. We'll go into captaincy in a bit, but overall, I think it was just a game week to forget or remember. I mean, Az is famous now from his game
Making the national paper is the funniest thing. I went to every news around yesterday trying to find a copy of the Daily Star. Can you hear him? He just went, yes, very funny. It's iconic. It is the funniest thing. Imagine having such a bad game week that it gets picked up by a journalist.
I know.
He's laughing. He's fine.
Oh my God. I was going to say, like, you should get the newspaper and frame it or something, because it's actually quite cool. Like, yeah, it sucks that you had a bad game week, but like, when is that ever going to happen again? So
also, what's really nice, as we're saying this on Black Box earlier, that he hasn't really enjoyed being on Twitter recently because it can be quite savage on there. But since he posted his score, it's the most he's enjoyed Twitter. Everyone kind of came together, I think, because everyone had a bad game week, and there were people with the triple captain Haaland and then ended up with about 7 points in their team, or they had double Spurs defense and ended up with -8. So I think it was nice that everyone came together in misery.
Yeah, definitely. So let's move ahead to our so you need a replacement game. I need to play catch up here. I thankfully had Udagi out, because imagine if I had to put him in and he got minus points. I feel like I should have awarded myself something for that, but I didn't. I haven't done anything for avoiding negative points. And the chat is winning by a long shot, you guys. So every Friday I put up a poll, so make sure to go vote on it. And you guys are doing amazing with your picks. But Yelena, I'll start with you. Talk us through your pick for this week.
You know what, looking at this, I think I've made a mistake, because I think Maddison and Odegaard are both out this week, whereas Ward-Prowse is starting. So I think I might be at a disadvantage. But I've gone for Ward-Prowse out. I was really, funnily enough, I really wanted to bring him in my wildcard, but he's been quite flat. And I think I've seen a few managers transferring him out. And I want to bring in Eze for this one. He's been out since, I think, game week 7. But that was against Manchester United, where he did get an assist. And it was looking like he was slowly getting there. And then obviously he's been out for a few weeks. But came back against Burnley, got an assist. And I think Eze and Edouard are going to link up together really nicely. And I think Eze's just been quite flat this season from what we expect. But I saw him play live and he was just holding Palace together. He was involved in everything. He looked like such a good asset to have. And I think his ownership's really low at the moment. It's less than 5%, maybe 3.2 or something. But I think that's going to rise up, because I think he's going to do really well. And Palace defensively have done so well. And I think if they can get the attack right, they're going to be a really strong team. So Eze is my pick for this week.
I just feel so burned by him from when I went Eze over in Buemo, and I had in preseason. I had in Buemo with my team for literally all of preseason. At the last moment, I said I'm gonna go for Eze, and then he did nothing. So I'm still holding a grudge against him from that. But I've seen a lot of people think about getting on him, and Palace do have good fixtures coming up as well. I went for Maddison. I actually picked this before I didn't know that he was going to be out for so long. I just really have wanted Gordon in my team for a while now. I think I've been consistently saying how can I get this guy in my team? And he has 2 goals and 1 assist in his last 5 games. Newcastle don't have the easiest fixtures, but I do feel like he is looking a bit fixture proof. We didn't expect them to beat Arsenal in the manner that they did. The only thing that I'm a little bit worried about is that they had a bit of a break from Champions League and now they're going to have the Champions League games again. So that's something that is a little bit worrying to me. But you have Gordon. So what do you think? Have I missed the boat on this one, or do you think it's worth bringing him in?
I'd absolutely bring him in. I mean, in the Arsenal game, Wilson came off, then Gordon ended up playing up front, and within 5 minutes of being in that position, he scored a goal. And with Wilson, he's got kind of ongoing injuries, so I don't know whether Gordon's going to get more time playing in that position. He's a really versatile player. I really like him, and I think I've always been a bit stuck in a dilemma of Isak or Wilson, whereas Gordon just seems absolutely nailed. And I think with Isak out, we don't know how nailed Wilson's going to be for the foreseeable future, whereas I think Gordon's going to keep his place in the team, and he's so impressive. And he got suspended, obviously, had a week out, but then immediately came back, was getting attacking returns. It's quite rare for him to blank. I think he's had 4 goals and 4 assists already this season. So I would definitely, I think for his price point as well, he is such a decent asset to have.
I hope that he returns, because I need to get some points on this board. Like, I'm just like, need to play catch up here. And then you in the chat, the options were, what were the options? It was Mitchell in, and let me check who out. Community. Romero out, Mitchell in, or Odegaard out, Bowen in, and you guys voted for Odegaard out, Bowen in. And I've had Bowen in my team for a very long time. He already has 7 goals and 1 assist this season, and he's just looking completely on point. So I really like this pick, and I hope that you guys get returns because he's in my team.
I'm jealous. The way you feel about Gordon is how I feel about Bowen.
I'm hoping to have both of them in my team next week. So that brings us to my team selection, and I need help here, Yelena, because I was kind of set on rolling the transfer, but now we have all of those flags up. This is my team at the moment. I don't love playing Simicast. Honestly, I really thought that he was going to be playing more than he has been. On Thursday night, we saw that he was subbed off at halftime. So I don't know if I can even trust Klopp to start him, let alone stay on for the 60 minutes. We saw in the last game week that he didn't start, and he was brought on and he blocked my Lascelles 9-pointer. And then Saka also got flagged. I think he should be okay. I'm not 100% sure. But like I've been saying, I really want to bring Gordon into my team. So I'm thinking about doing Maddison out, Gordon in. And then eventually I kind of had a play around, and I could in the future downgrade Cash to a Palace defender and then upgrade Saka to Son, and I would have enough money. So that's kind of like my tentative long-term plan. I really wanted 2 free transfers after the international break. But now with the Maddison flag, I just feel like I should take care of that. But what do you think?
No, I completely agree. Looking at your team, I think, like you said, it's likely Saka will play. If Saka was flagged and we were all really concerned that he wasn't going to come on, I'd say you probably need to sort that out. But I think Maddison to Gordon, bench Simicast this week, and then after the international break, you'll have a free transfer, a bit more information. And then, it sounds like you've got a good long-term plan with that one.
Nice.
So that was really, look at us being concise.
I know, so concise, so easy. Like, I'm glad that that we're both aligned with the thought process as well. And currently, I have the armband on Salah. Haaland against Chelsea. Like, honestly, it could be a good shout because Chelsea have been conceding a lot of goals. When we played Spurs, we conceded. On the score sheet, it said just the one time, but we did concede 2 more goals, the Son goal and the Dyer goal, that were both ruled out for offside. But this team is conceding a lot of chances, and we do look shaky in the back. So who are you considering for the captaincy option?
I'm stressed. So at the moment, my captaincy's on Salah, but remember last time we went against Haaland, and then it was 2 goals and 1 assist against Man U. So I think I find it hard enough having a player against Chelsea anyway, let alone captaining them. I think that's my stress. And then imagine if we have, say, City have another massive week like they did last week, but again, there's no Haaland involvement. Not only have we lost to City, we've also not got anything from our captaincy. So I think I am going to stick with Salah, but the problem is I do think Brentford's defence is good. I think they will definitely concede, but it might be that it actually comes from Darwin. So the Salah captaincy, I'm a bit nervous about. I feel like Watkins at home against Fulham is a really good option, but I'm just not going to go there. And then Gordon as well, I've got for Bournemouth away. I think if it was a Newcastle home fixture, I'd probably be more tempted. But there's quite a lot of good captaincy options this week. Originally, I was going to do Saka against Burnley, but now that he's injured, I don't know whether his minutes are going to be managed, and it's too much of a risk if he's not going to play the full 90. So I think I probably will stick with Salah, but it's a reluctant one. I'm a bit nervous. I'm not 100% sure.
I know. I'm thinking realistically, like against Chelsea, I think City will score. I would be surprised if they don't. And with how open we are, like it would be surprising to me if Haaland doesn't score. So I'm like, do I just captain him? But it's a hard one. It's really,
the thing
really
is,
hard.
I'm trying to think optimistically that we're coming off the back of a great win. That game was chaos. It was, I mean, we were messaging throughout and kind of having heart attacks. But then we're going to have a home fixture. Are we going to, I don't know.
Our home form hasn't been so good though, as well.
But I'm hoping we've got
some crazy stat that we've only won like I'm making this up, but like 3 times at home in the year or something. Like it's been.
Isn't there something? I think I'm probably wrong on this, but there is a team, and I want to say Brentford. Brentford have won more home games at Chelsea than we have, or something, in the last couple of years. I'll have to find out what it was, but it's the most ridiculous stat.
Oh my god. So I don't know, all of that. I honestly might be swayed to go Haaland. I'm gonna wait on it for now. But let's go through your team. How are you feeling about it after the game week? You have a couple of flags.
Yeah,
what are kind of the things you're thinking about?
So my defense is a mess. My plan was to play Burn, but obviously he's out, so he's last on the bench. Cabre, the only reason I put him there is because, like I said, I think Brentford will concede to Liverpool, and Manchester United haven't looked massively strong, but they are playing against Luton. So I'd be surprised if they didn't score, but I'm hoping Kabore again is coming off the back of getting an assist. Luton feel a bit more confident, and we'll go from there. Then the midfield, I sent this to you before the Maddison news. I'm going to have to sort out Maddison. So I think I play again, bench Maddison, then go into the international break with 2 free transfers. That's kind of the sensible side of me. And then there's another side of me that really wants to upgrade Burn to Trippier, which I'm definitely going to do because I need Trippier in my team. So I'm thinking, do I just take a -4 this week, downgrade Maddison to someone, upgrade Burn to Trippier, and then the chances are Trippier is definitely going to outscore Kabore, and then it'll be worth the hit. But I don't know. I'm hesitant because also I've gone this far without taking a hit this season. But then I think, well, if it's a move I'm going to do already. No, not yet.
What? I think I've taken like 2. That's
but then
crazy.
It's worked for you because you are climbing up the ranks.
Not really.
If you and I do 2 captaincy decisions that are different to each other and you get them right, then you'll have overtaken me because there's only 50 points between us.
Yeah, that's the thing. My captaincy decisions, like every week, it's been the wrong person. Like it should have been somebody else. But it happens. I think you have to think about like, well, let's take a look at how many points in. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and then present a new tab here.
You're so high tech.
Oh my god, thank you. So if we look at Trippier, so he's had some crazy hauls, like 9 point, obviously, and no pointer versus Wolves, and 10, 6, 12, 18, 8 points. So
he just gets bonus points.
He is a bonus points magnet. And realistically, even if for whatever reason that Newcastle don't keep a clean sheet against Bournemouth, he is always like, you see this assist, 3 assists. Like he's also getting up there. He's an assist magnet. 6 assists so far this season. So he's getting an assist almost every other game. So if you get, I'm trying to like do the math here. If Trippier gets like at least 6 points, you'll be up 2.
Yeah, because I think the chances of Kabore or Pinnock keeping clean sheet are so slim.
Yeah.
So I think it's a calculated risk. I think it makes sense. And then if Maddison's going to be out, the quote said between 1 to 3 months, then I'll just downgrade. And then if I have a boring fielder, then after the international, not boring, but one that's kind of just a bench warmer, then after the international break, I'll just replace John McGinn with someone, because after that, the Villa fixtures aren't as good. And I wouldn't really be too fussed taking out McGinn. So I think it makes sense. And it is more to do with the Maddison news today that's made me go, actually, I think I should just pull the trigger.
You could bring in Palmer.
I could. I was considering this. And I think, again, that's a really good long-term one. But then that could be my McGinn to Palmer after the international break. So there's a lot to consider.
I think I would do it.
Yeah, okay, sold. I've been persuaded.
I don't know. A lot of people have been saying like, oh, you can go without Trippier. And I just look at the returns. And I mean, I just think that even though it's a high price point, he's getting returns as if like more so than midfielders or attackers in the game. So for me, I think
the ownership as well will destroy my rank because he's like 49%.
Yeah. So he's 49.5% ownership at the moment. So yeah, I think I would go for it if I were you.
First hit of the season. Exciting.
Woo! Join the club. So guys, I hope that you loved this video. As always, thank you so much, Yelena, for hopping on. Make sure to give her channel a sub and watch her videos. She puts out really great FPL content, and you've upped the amount of videos that you're making as well. You're making like 3 or so a week. I don't know how you have that time, but you manage.
I know. I hate my job, so now I just put all my effort into YouTube videos.
So we'll be having a live Q&A on her channel as well. So make sure to watch out for that. And yeah, sub to this channel as well while you're at it. I've been working super hard to have some really cool content and graphics, and I hope to have everything up and running because it's so much work after the international break. So let us know your team dilemmas in the comments down below, and hope you have a great rest of your day, evening, whatever time you're watching this. Until next time, we're out. Bye.
Bye.